ways that we communicate. And each one of them is trying to contribute to what we're trying to say. And unless we have all our channels open, and our hearts open, and our souls open, we're going to miss a lot of them. Unfortunately, by the way, we men are at a disadvantage. We think words are the story. And you know what? There are probably only about 10 or 15% of communication is in the actual words. Yeah. There's a movie out, Hitch. I don't know if people have seen it. Will Smith, and he's telling a younger guy how he can be more successful in dating. And he said, first of all, recognize that the verbal part of communication is only 10%. 90% is nonverbal. 90% is on the emotional realm. Women know that. Men, we're not taught that. We think, you know, typical story in a relationship, maybe the wife might say, the husband, did you hear what I said? The husband said, I heard every word. I can repeat every word to you. The wife said, you didn't hear what I said, did you? Now what she's really saying in a way was, did you feel what I said? Not what, did you hear it? I sometimes recommend it to men, just try to feel what a woman is saying. Don't sit there and repeat the words. Never be another day. ECPR actually would probably be a good dating preparation, especially for men. Yeah. Or women who would like to have more days. Or women who would, I mean, it isn't always men going out with women. I don't want to raise the whole issue of LGBTQI. There are many letters. Both my daughters are very open with us and with the world that they have described themselves as queer. And it's an interesting learning experience for my wife and I, what that means. When I was growing up, queer was a very derogatory term. But my younger daughter, who probably should have been a lawyer, she said to me that I should know what queer means because I raised them to look beyond labels. And I was like, I didn't necessarily mean every label. But she said, well, it's looking beyond the label of male and female to the human being. And looking beyond what do they call it? Heteronormal. Looking beyond that and seeing there's value in other combinations between people. So I'll finish with what I call the 6 intentions. These are not instructions, and you can't repeat them word for word. If you're with somebody who's in crisis, try not to repeat them. That'll only make people angrier. Don't read them to somebody. Just take them into your own heart and be able to feel them so that when you're with somebody, you just can be with them in a different way. This isn't a toolkit. This isn't a set of skills. We do this training, 20 people for 2 days. We're going to try to find ways to have a shorter version for people that don't have 2 days. We're going to try to find a way to do some of it online for people that can't come in person. But I'm not thrilled about the online idea because you really need to hear the voice, see the face of a person, sense their closeness or their distance. But if it's that or nothing, maybe we'll start with online. Also just because I'm 12,000 miles away. We do have some trainers in Singapore. I was talking to Professor G about that, and in Australia. And granted, that's not like right next door. That's a lot closer. So the first intention is I will connect through feelings first. Just pause for a moment on that one. That means you're with somebody, they're in distress. Don't start asking them questions right away. Just try to sit with them and sit with their feelings, uncomfortable as they may be. Somebody's crying, or maybe harder yet, they're yelling. You may think they're yelling at you. Maybe they're just yelling. Absorb it. Wait for a little bit. Stay in contact though. Stay connected. Your eyes, your ears, and your heart, and be respectful. But connect on the feeling level first. Don't try to track down, and then what happened, and then where were you, and what happened after that. That's all up here. We're trying to help people to feel comfortable expressing what's in the rest of their body. I go here, but it's really their arms, their legs, their back. It's all parts of your body. Secondly, I will feel your presence. I'm with you, and I'll feel your presence. I'll stay with you, but I also share some of my feelings in response to you. It may not be the same feeling, although often when you're with somebody that's very sad, you may feel some of their sadness. It's okay to say, you know, I'm feeling kind of sad for what you're describing. Not you made me sad. Not that I know that you're sad. I'm just feeling kind of sad right at this moment. And then stop right there. Don't elaborate on it because I had a similar experience. It's okay to share some of your experience, but mostly we're saying share the feeling that you're going through. And number 3 is very, very important. Be, don't do. Just try to be with the person. Don't try to fix them. Don't try to make recommendations. Don't tell them, you know, I've got a great idea for what's wrong with you. Don't explain them. Just be there with them. Say, I'm going to stick with you. And this, try to listen in the fashion of chunk. Don't need a translation of that. Chunk. One word at a time. Maybe next time I'll have a couple more. So this is a very amazing thing that the Chinese character for listen has the ears, the eyes, the heart, 10 eyes in fact, and respect. The 4th intention really goes with the 3rd, which is I'm not sure what's best for you. I'm not going to try to fix you, and I'm not sure what's best for you. But I'm not leaving you. I'm sticking with you. I'm staying here, and we're going to explore the unknown together. And I had a terrific therapist, actually. I remember I would say to him something like, he one time said, I said to him one time, I'm really worried that if I get into my feelings that I won't be as productive as I had been before. Because, you know, if you suppress your feelings, you can turn out a lot of work. Of course, it may be terrible work. But he said, don't worry. You'll always have that drive. It'll always be there with you, so you can explore your emotions. And I said, oh, that was so great of you to say that and to recognize that. And he said, you came up with it. It was from you. He always pointed out the insights that we came up with together usually was something that I've been working towards. And that made me feel so good. Oh, I played a role in that. It wasn't just you're giving me an insight. The 5th one is really related to that too. Together, 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 together. Try to be together with somebody. When they're in crisis, they feel alone. They feel powerless and they feel alone. And you can't empower them, but you can be with them in such a fashion that they can experience their power. Be humble. Don't be a know-it-all. Don't come in as an expert. They can experience their own power, and they can feel that you're there with them. It's hard for someone to feel that somebody's with them if You're just giving them orders and giving them instructions. So together, we'll release the power to heal that lies within us. And you gain power too in being with someone in a fashion that the two of you actually experience something new, something different, a new point of view, a new perspective. That means that you don't feel drained. Sometimes peers yesterday, they were saying, I feel drained when I help someone. That means you're working, doing too much of the work. When you work together, you won't feel drained. And lastly, we actually create new life, new voice, with a capital V, that's a deeper voice, the voice of your whole being, and new hope in the present moment, which is revitalizing. Very important that it be in the present moment. And we actually can, I believe, and I've seen it and felt it, and that woman from Poland expressed it, actually can create new life for both people. Both the person who started out assisting and the person who started out in distress can both experience new life, a new hope that wasn't there before, and new energy. So you can get energy from it. I feel that way when I come and I share with people, in different countries. It's at my stage of life, it's not that easy to travel, halfway around the world. But I feel so encouraged by being with you all. I feel so excited by your enthusiasm, by your eagerness to learn and to take control of your own lives and change your society. Doesn't feel like a big deal to me. I feel encouraged, I feel energy. I'm very grateful Professor G came and found me. So thank you. Thank you all very much.
감사드립니다. 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 어려운 분한테 모시고 연습장에 좋은 강의 해줘서 감사드립니다. 다음에는 원래 우리 임채호 과장님께서 열심히 하셨는데 잠깐 우리 이인영 조정관님께서 나오셔서 정신장애인 인권 증진을 위한 과제에 대해서 우리 국가인권위원회에서 잠깐 말씀해 주시겠습니다.